What's the difference between a trial and a data point? A lot of people don't understand the difference, so I want to make sure you're clear. It's pretty simple, actually. It's just words, right? It's just definitions. And this has to do with the lab, right? Trials are repeated tests that are identical to previous testing, right? So we're really testing the repeatability of a measurement. Like if I always throw a ball up, right, in this with the same speed, does it take the same amount of time to get back to the ground? So I'm going to always measure the speed, make sure I keep the speed exactly the same on the way up, and then I'm going to measure the time. So that's repeated trials. To see if it's repeatable, they should have identical limitations or parameters, right? And I should be able to average my results if it's repeatable. There should be very little difference between my trials, in theory. You never want to do fewer than 3 trials. If you have time, doing more is okay. But if you see that if you have 3 that are all pretty close to being the same, then you should stop and move on to the next thing. Data points are when you make a change to test if there's a trend or not. So you would make a change in the independent variable and see what happens to the dependent variable. In this, we're keeping the same independent variable and checking the dependent variable over and over again. Here you're changing the independent variable to see its effect on the dependent variable. So you do a minimum of 5 unless you're told otherwise. 3 is not acceptable to see a trend in our class, and in most other upper level science courses, you're not going to do only 3. You have to do a minimum of 5 different data points. In general, you want to pick the smallest possible value that you can use for your independent variable. Then you want to pick the biggest reasonable possible value for your independent variable. Then you want to pick 3 in between. There's no rule like you have to do it every 5 centimeters or every 10 seconds. Like you don't have to space them evenly. Small, big, 3 in between. That's all you have to worry about. We're looking to test the presence of a trend. That's what data points do. Okay, trials make sure that the values you get are the same, right? They're just not by chance, that you can repeat them over and over again. That's all you got to know about trials versus data points.